Well, little Mallory's being such a good girl. We're waiting here in the vet's exam room, and there were 6 patients ahead of us, so we're going to be here a little while. Anyway, she's been a very good dog. She walked around for a while. I did manage to get a photo of her wound with the help of the vet tech. It's up underneath her chin, so it's really hard to get to. I'm afraid to like stretch her neck out too much. I don't know. I don't want to hurt her. But anyhow, just so you guys can see, anyone who's queasy, close your eyes for a few seconds. I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture of her wound right here. Okay, so that's what it looks like from the outside. Well, here we are. Finally have our consultation with the big veterinary hospital. Where are you going, Mel? Come back, Mel. This place is kind of cool. Big old blue dog. Yeah, so where's she going? Oh, she dropped a little goodie. God dang it. If it's not one thing, it's another with her. Okay, I'm going to clean that up. Come, Mal, I'm going to clean that up. You guys don't want to see it, I'm sure. There we go. Okay, there we go. There is no sink in here, which is a real drag. I would like to wash my hands, but it's no big deal. So, one more shot of Mal waiting for her doctor to come in, and now I'm going to talk to you guys. Wow. What an ordeal this has been. Getting in here to see a surgical vet has been tough. This is 3 days after I sent in my original request, and so that had to go through the scheduler's office and blah blah blah. And I talked to the office again this evening, and they said, well, you know, we won't be able to schedule. The surgeons aren't going to be in until next week. And I was like, oh no. Do I really have to go another week with this dog and her issues and her wound and all that? And the receptionist said, well, she said, you can come in on an emergency basis if you want to. Make sure it's after 6 because the surgical vet gets here after 6. So, you know, and she apparently does her ER rounds at that time. So anyhow, here we are.
Hi there.
Hi.
All right, so your girl did good. Is this one with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. All right, so kind of what the situation was is I'm not an artist.
That's okay.
Graduate from art school.
That's okay.
So you have the trachea going down the neck, okay? This is the ears of the dog and the head of the dog, all right? And then our little jaw area, and your little drainage area is kind of like right here. And then there's like the larynx or the voice box,
right.
Everything where they swallow, etc. And then the tongue kind of sits in here. So this was going like literally right up to this area. Okay?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Creating an opening here, all right? And then an opening here. And that's why we had saliva coming down through there. Super weird. I haven't seen this before. Are you sure it got bit? Is that?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay. The only reason I suggested sending out that piece of tissue is because I'm like, super weird. Like, I don't normally see a fistula from the oral cavity coming through that area out. So I'm like, she's older, like 11, 14, something like that.
Probably 17.
Well, I think she's at least 14.
Okay, all right.
At least,
yeah. So, I mean, it may absolutely be a bite wound. It may, whatever, but in a weird chance because she's older,
right?
You know, that it's something more nefarious.
Right, I understand.
it might be beneficial to send it out. They may send it back saying inflammation. And
That's
it's
fine,
like, okay, they didn't see cancer cells.
Yeah, this is like the freakiest wound I could even imagine the dog having.
It's super weird. But
Yeah.
what
But she also had, I don't know whether you saw, but she had a nick up by her eye too.
I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, she had a couple little spots
And
where
I
it
think
looks
that
like
was
perhaps.
Because
Yeah.
that's
the dog
probably-
that bit her is her companion
So
dog.
we know it's a dog that bit her.
Well, that's all, there wouldn't
That's
be
all we
anything
can
else
think
there.
of.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I mean, if we knew it was a dog that bit her, I wouldn't be like, hey, let's send it out for the pathologist.
that's okay.
because-
I don't think, it doesn't, that wouldn't make any, sense to be a cancer issue. It's just how it was healing, it's had some time to try, a few days to try and heal.
Right. Well, I mean, it was literally an open fistula from the salivary duct, not duct, from the mouth down
Right.
there. So saliva was coming out of it because
right.
it was connected up in the mouth.
Right.
So what I did is I basically surgically tunneled down in here, okay, and tunneled down in here and took this bit of tissue out.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and then tried to, as best as I could, to freshen that up and put stitches here to close that.
I understand.
From the inside, not from the mouth side. Okay. And then my hope is that by pulling all this business out and
Right.
closing this up with some stitches, that this will heal and not start to open up and create a fistula again.
Right,
This
right.
is what I don't know, and this is what time is gonna
Right.
let us
Right.
know.
Right.
Okay.
Oh. Well, I thought I would give you a little glimpse of my decor that's beside my bathroom door. You can hear Mallory. She is digging at the door. She wants out, out, out. She is tired of being kept cooped up in that bathroom all night since her surgery. So I'm going to let her out and let her walk around. Okay, Mal. You can show everybody your cone of silence, cone of shame. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Mallory! Mallory! What are you doing, little girl? Are you just sick and tired of being inside on your own? Come here, baby. Oh, God, she won't come and say, come here, darling. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody, she says. I'm going to let her wander around for a little while. Hi everyone. I'm going to let her wander around for a little while. Okay, so now we wait. The surgeon said 2 weeks with the cone, 2 weeks of antibiotics, and she should get her external stitches out in about 2 weeks. So, hopefully all that's going to knit together nicely and there will be no complications. And that's my gut feeling. That's what my little voice is saying, yeah, okay, it's going to be all right now. So, I don't really know how to say thank you to everyone who stepped in to help me with this. I had anticipated that it was going to run me somewhere around $6,000 to $8,000 because initially the first vet that saw her actual vet, said that he thought that the surgeon would want to do x-rays and a CT scan, and he said, I think that's going to be about $1,500, and then plus the surgery. And as he's talking, I said, okay. I said, well, can you give me a ballpark idea of what the surgery would run? I said, and incidental, what the surgery we were talking about was removal of the salivary gland and possible stitching up of the trachea, because he could not tell if there was involvement, what the involvement was. So we were going on that presumption. Anyhow, he said, well, it's hard to say. And I responded, well, are we talking $2,000, $8,000? Just give me a ballpark. He kind of makes a little scoffing noise. He says, well, it's going to be a lot more than $2,000, he said. And that's when I started to panic. And, I realized that with all the cash I could possibly scrape up, pretty much taking everything that I've got except for enough to leave my bank account open, and a whole bunch of borrowing, I still wasn't going to be able to reach that threshold of even 6, let alone 8. And of course, all of you animal lovers, at least those of you in Central California, know that vets don't take payments. At least none of the vets I've ever worked with do. You have to pay when service is rendered, and sometimes up front. So, before they're actually done with their surgery, not afterward when you take them home. So like I said, I panicked trying to figure out how am I going to be able to raise enough money so that I can get her into the surgeon and fixed, and then worry about, paying back loans or whatever later. And I thought, okay, how about GoFundMe? That I can do GoFundMe. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to write a GoFundMe campaign, and I'm going to share it out to all of my beloved YouTube peeps and my friends on Facebook. And I'm going to say, I'm not asking you guys for cash. What I'm asking is for you to share this out. Just share it out into the universe, and I will trust that my campaign will find people who have a heart for animals, and that's how this thing is going to go down. So instead, all you guys, and you know who you are, all of my beloveds, you're the ones who ended up sending me money, and I was just, boy, now things are getting real. People I know and love are sending me cash to deal with my pet that I should be able to deal with on my own. And I thought, oh, wait a minute. The idea of owing people money or being beholden just freaks me out. I don't like to owe anybody anything. And I'm usually the person who will step in and help other people financially or however whatever the help is needed. Because I like to be in that position. I like to be the helper. I don't like to be the helped. Well, in this case, I had to put that distaste aside and ask for help. And boy, did you guys jump in and help. I'm still overawed and, just feeling blessed with the most wonderful YouTube community. I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say. So, this is what I'm going to do. For everyone who has donated, most of you folks have gotten, or should have gotten, a second thank you explaining this. But I'm giving you the option to have your donation returned, and this is why. As it turned out, I ended up having just about exactly enough money in my bank to pay for this. So I didn't have to go to the GoFundMe cash. I left it sitting where it was. I didn't have to borrow any from any family. And and by the time my next Social Security check drops, I'll be able to pay my bills and everything will be fine. So I slid in just under the wire of being able to pay for it with the cash I had on hand. And I see GoFundMe as it's an emergency last resort kind of thing. If your back is against the wall and it's either, save the dog or euthanize it, that's when GoFundMe becomes a viable answer to problems. So, because of that, those of you who want to pull the donation and, share it with somebody else or whatever, don't feel bad about opting into that refund cohort group, because I am more than happy. I was gonna just return it all without asking anybody. However, the more close YouTube peeps I talked to, the more reaction I was getting. Look, it doesn't matter whether you could pay for it or not. We wanted to help. We don't want it back. Don't give it back. And so for those who want to contribute to what I just went through, yeah, I'll take the help and thank you very much. And I will pay it forward, or I will pay it forward. I just will, because that's how you do this kind of thing. But please don't feel uncomfortable about saying yes to opting into the refund group. That is absolutely fine, and that had been my intention anyway. So that's where we stand. The numbers. Her initial vet visit was $450, and her visit last night with the surgery and everything was $1,385, I think. So it wasn't even the high bounce of 2,000. It was down in a much smaller number of dollars than I thought I was going to have to spend. So there we go. I'm going to deactivate my GoFundMe, and then for anybody who wants me to refund the donation, I'll start doing that. I think I'm going to wait for 2 weeks to make sure nothing happens to this dog. Because if it does, then I'm really out of money. Then I don't have anything to draw from. But I don't think anything's going to happen. I think she's going to be fine. So in a couple of weeks, when we get the stitches out, then I'm going to start doing the refunds. And the GoFundMe says they say 7 to 14 days, but give it 3 weeks. And if if you've opted out and you haven't received a refund, let me know. You can leave a comment, here on this video to let me know. Those of you who have my email address already, you can email me, whatever, and I'll do what I have to do to get you your donation back. So that feels like the right way to handle this. So that's how I'm going to do it. And again, thank you. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Bye.